Hello, people of the world. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, KO. Yes, it's me. Okay, so... what the fuck am I doing? Honestly, doing this video, I'm gonna just be real and just be honest. Doing this video is like... really kind of... I'm trying to figure out, like, what am I about to talk about? But honestly, I just want to talk, okay? I want to just talk about, like, my perception of life, okay? Honestly, in my brain is telling me, like, these type of conversations are always debate on having, even with myself or even with other people in the world, because it's just, like, honestly, for real, there's a lot of, like, different topics that's going around in my head, and I honestly feel like I'm gonna just let myself dive into one, because when I think about doing these type of videos, I always am hesitant, because it's like, are people even gonna... people most likely won't watch it, but it's just like, this it's just whatever is what I'm really trying to tell myself, because just this is how I talk to myself, and I have all this type of shit going on, and I want to share it. I don't know, all the topics that have been running through my head, which I don't know what I'm going to title this, but like, no one knows anything. Does it really matter? And maybe, like, faking it till you make it. So I want to talk about my brain because I think it's crazy and I want to talk about it. So the way my brain is kind of like set up is I am like walking on a tightrope when it comes to like life. Like, things are very like intense for me. Things are very dramatic for me. Things are very loud for me. Being such an emotional person and being, it can drag weight on your entire perspective, your entire being. I am high right now. I feel like I should just say that because my eyes. Anyways, I have always found myself just really wanting to be happy. And my happiness was always conditional. There's so many reasons as to why, like, I just grew up really just feeling separated from everyone else, mentally wise. Like, I never feel like I was like stronger than others, or not stronger, smarter than others, or oh, I'm just so cool. But it's just like these grown ass thoughts in my head. Like, I just feel like, you know, consciousness hit me fast. Like, you know, at a certain age you don't remember what you were like when you were like a kid. Certain ages you don't remember. I realized that I'm losing my train of thought. Yes, consciousness hit me fast. Like, I just felt like I woke up suddenly and I'm like, oh, okay, like, we're feeling new things, we're feeling new emotions, we're seeing things differently. Like, my perspective has damn near already been molded so far. So it's just like, you know, I'm starting to see things for what I believe they are. And all my life, I've always like questioned every single aspect of like religion or spirituality or anything like really faith-based. Always just truly wanted to know more. This is going to be like a huge jump. Seeing the movie Everything Everywhere at Once. Everything Everywhere at Once. That was the first time I felt like, oh, there's a lot of people that like are trying to find comfort in the fact that what I took from the movie, none of this shit matters. And we're all just here together. Like, we're all in this together. So I never really like stuck to anything. So when I think about what I want to title the video is, you know, nothing really matters or no one knows anything, like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I watch so many different videos, and like, I'm trying to, the type of person I am trying to become needs to find some sort of like safe space and understanding in this world, because I can't really sit here and contemplate the fact that we're actually here. Like, sometimes I'll just like stand still and just like be like, we are really in here. we are really in here. And I always think about, like, where do we even lie? Like, I feel like we lie in our brainstem. I feel like that if our soul was anywhere, it's our brainstem. I don't know why I think that, but I do. And I never wanted to truly become like an atheist. Or is my iPad on? Because I've been really learning up on many different practices and beliefs, and the way a lot of them just sound the same. I'm like, that's why I am drawn more towards the take what works for you. It works for me, it works for me. I always think that when I'm overwhelmed with a decision on what I want to do concerning my beliefs, because one thing I've always just struggled with is how people just so easily can believe things. Like, without, to me, I mean, I always think about how being able to see and touch something is like extremely powerful. It confirms all the senses. So when it comes to faith and stuff, that's why a lot of people's faith wavers. Because honestly, if you had what you wanted, you could physically like press a button, it wouldn't even, I don't fucking know. But people who just easily seemingly believe in things. And I have thought about the fact that a lot of people run to certain beliefs just because of like shameful acts or like to save themselves. Honestly, we are all like thugging, bro. Like, we're all like, because if we all just sat down, if we all just sat down and just was like, that's how sometimes getting too high and looking at people and you just looking at them like there's nothing. There's nothing like eyesight. Like, I love being able to look out of my eyes. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like getting real toasted and looking at certain people and they just like, you're really in your body right now. And sometimes that's scary. Sometimes that's so scary. But let me show my hair. I'm in my house now. But honestly, dude, it's just not thought about enough. And I feel like if we were to even sit there and think about it all the time, we would be like thinking about death and all that shit. Like, that shit's crazy. And that's why I try to find gratitude in the fact that, this all comes to an end. Like, regardless. And people having, what gets me are the same arguments. People making the same arguments. And that's why I really do draw towards the it works for me, doing the best you can. Taking what works for you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, honestly, that's what you got to do. Because it gets kind of scary when you think about that. Because if you grew up in like a Christian home, nigga, you weighing up, you thinking in the back of your head, if you're a church baby, you're in the back of your head literally like, be my not even true authentic self, but like this or hell or that or the, like it's always on my mind. And I don't live any way like that, but it's just like it pops up sometimes, like when I want to make like, when my morals pop out, what shaped my morals, which is kind of, some of this shit is just so foundational, like roots that just like really shaped like the way you see your perspective now. Like, without that, you wouldn't even see things the way you do. I like these type of conversations. Like, I remember having conversations of kind of like this with like an old friend, like kind of, they're just like, basically telling me, like, you just question too much. Like, you should just accept the fact that no one knows anything. And I'm just like, well, that's hard for me. Because when I think about the spiritual side of things, I think that it's real. Like, even what I am starting to see myself kind of believe is the fact that it may not be the way we could ever imagine. Like, what if we're all right? Like, what if we're all just putting all the things together? Like, because I'm like, all these questions that we still ask, bro. All these questions that are still looming. Like, people, like I said, people find peace with this. They find it in beliefs. Even people believe in, everybody believes in something to a degree. But honestly, a lot of people believe in a lot of things, like, as a lifeline. And they really don't think that. But it's just like, there's some people that are able to slide into that, like, easy. And be like, this is this. But with the spiritual side of things, like, some stuff is unexplainable. Like, we really in this thing. You can make it seem like it's like, we as humans, the fuck, human beings. I love these. I don't know. I don't know. I've had this conversation plenty of times. So, old to me, new to you. I'm just talking. But, damn it. Like, and honestly, I believe, like, the truth will reveal itself. And I'm kind of afraid of that thought, because is that kind of like being like, I mean, I just don't believe in anything. Because, I still run back to God, the Christian God. When I, like, just am praying or just showing gratitude, that's who I think of. People talk about, like, the universe and shit. But it's like, I don't even know if I'll really even label it anymore when I say my prayers. That is, like, really, really scary. To shift such a belief, because it's like a part of our true desire is just to have some sort of a purpose and a reasoning. Like, we're just chasing a reasoning. And there's some people that's just like, there is no reason, babe. You're here. And it's just like, bitch, why though? Why? Someone should answer that. But instead, what we do is just, we've created this form of a system. And it's fun to think about these things, because it brings you back to a sense of reality. It's like, yeah, today, like, okay, yeah, girl. I wake up every day and I realize I'm human. I realize that this shit is crazy. But do you? Have you thought about it for a minute, for a second? This is your pause, bitch. Think about the fact that you're in here. You're being transported with feet in this sack of flesh. So, I guess you could say, because when I have these, I guess you could say, like, now I'm starting to become comfortable with the fact that maybe I just am truly just finding my way. I can't say I hold on to anything, because, like I was saying, a lot of us hold on to things for hope, or a purpose, a reasoning to be here. And though, when it comes to the whole purpose thing, I try not to get too caught up in that, because when I start to think of my purpose, I think of, worldly pleasures. I don't know. But it could be that, like, you know, it's that's why the spiritual side drives me back in, because I believe there's a reasoning for my life. And people should. I mean, why not? But we're also drawn to the what is the reason, why is the reason, and we come up with these reasonings based off the sequences of our life, and we find a way to make them make sense for us until for a lot of people it doesn't anymore. I mean, shit, we constantly sit here trying to chase after our dreams and passions, and I think about how, you know, some people, even the book I'm reading right now, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, like, it brings me back to, like, what's the point? What was I about to say? Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Oh yeah, when I'm reading Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, or really any kind of book like this, like, where they say, you know, you have to think the better thoughts to have the reality that you truly desire. And I'm like, most motherfuckers are gonna die before that happens, but they're betting on it. Everybody believes they're gonna get somewhere. Nobody is thinking about dying, my nigga. But then we do. And there's not many people excited like me. In a good way. Sometimes. But it's like, anyways. But even with all of this, like, crazy kind of nonsense, I don't believe everyone's wrong. I do believe that we have a lot of power in our minds. I do think, like, if people don't think that, like, when I think about scientific shit, like atoms and, like, waves and, like, stuff like that, like, that's why I'd be like, okay, that's why I think it's more than just some la-di-da-di-da golden rivers and everlasting light and transforming into something. I don't know. I hope that we go somewhere after we shut our eyes. Oh my God. Can we not talk about this? Like, can we talk about this crazy shit we just went through to somebody? But I don't think you should be afraid of the thought of, like, you know, you don't believe in anything. Like, maybe even simultaneously believing in everything at once. And just accepting the fact that there's a lot of stuff in the unknown. There's a lot of stuff in the unknown, and niggas really gotta tighten up and accept that but the ways I find hope, even with all of that, the ways I find some sort of, like, solace is the excitement of knowing that believing in my own belief that I think there's more. Like, I think there's more to see. Like, I think there's more to learn. Like, I think there's more. And I think it's going to be after we shut our damn eyes. So, I believe this life can show us oh so much. But once death comes, and I know I probably sound crazy. Lord, hold off. But when it does come, like, and it takes me, and there's something more. And the way I even live my day-to-day life is I focus on what I know is real: pain, suffering, joy, love, peace, that shit. And I try to find the balance with being a human being with what many of us have a lot of pain inside. Love is real. That's what's real. Love is real. Death is real. Those are so real. And that's enough of a window to climb through and be like, okay, like, what is going on? There's more. I don't know. Food for thought. I don't know if anyone's gonna watch this, but I'm gonna keep doing these video diaries of me just like contemplating my thoughts. If y'all want to see more, you can like it or not. But shit, you watch this, so thanks, babe.